Now on Coast TV News.
Support for fallen troopers family, how you can help, and the fake fundraisers to avoid. Planned upgrades for Northside Park in Ocean City, what changes you can expect.
Increasing clouds on your Friday with a cold rain developing across Delmarva with ice and snow and tricky travel to the north. Forecast details coming up.
And goodbye Christmas, where to recycle your tree in Delaware and Maryland.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick and Grace Eckerly have the day off. Thank you for joining us for our 6 o'clock hour on this Friday morning. It's the day after Christmas. Maybe you're ready to take down your decorations or you're going to keep them up for a little bit longer. Well, whatever you're doing today, we're going to check in with First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey because that warm weather we experienced is not sticking around. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Elisa. Yes, it was a milder Christmas, but no, it's not sticking around. And I, for one, I like to keep the decorations up a little longer till about New Year's, but I'm sure it just depends on your situation. It's cold out the door this morning. Maybe you're returning some gifts you didn't like or just heading out with your family for breakfast. It is cold, 30 in Seaford and Georgetown, 32 in Rehoboth, Bethany Beach at 33, and it's windy too. We've got a northerly wind, 15 to 20 miles per hour or so at the beaches. Not as strong inland, but it doesn't take much wind to knock down that feels like temperature. Feels like 19 in Milford, 23 in Dagsboro and Bethany Beach, so really bundle up. As we're looking at mostly clear skies, but that's not going to last as we're going to be looking at increasing clouds ahead of the next system we've been talking about all morning. Already spreading snow into the Great Lakes and a wintry mix back through Cleveland. This area of low pressure will be sliding to the south and east, giving us a cold rain later on and snow farther to the north. Already a winter weather advisory far northern Delaware into Jersey and then back into Pennsylvania. This is where we can see some sleet and snow and maybe some glazing, and then a winter storm warning around the New York area where they could see a few inches of accumulating snow. So if your travels take you up that way, be prepared for wintry weather, but not for us as clouds increase. Temperatures rising through the 30s, even into the 40s. Then I think we'll see some rain developing through this evening, but look at the temperatures in the 30s and 40s with wet roads expected, and then those showers continue overnight. You can see this peach color to the north, indicating that wintry precipitation, even the snow farther to the north as we go into tonight, and then things drying out into Saturday morning. So temperatures in the 20s and 30s this morning. Feels like temperatures in the low 20s, and then we're into the mid to upper 30s by this afternoon. I'll have much more on this system coming through, and I'll have your weekend forecast coming up a little bit later on as well.
Our top story this morning, Delaware State Police are warning people about unauthorized fundraising efforts following the line-of-duty death of Corporal Matthew T. Ty Snook. According to the agency, these fundraisers are not affiliated or endorsed by the Snook family or Delaware State Police. DSP is encouraging people to rely on official information they have provided. And here is that official fundraising information. To help the Snook family, a fundraiser has been started by the Delaware State Troopers Association at helpahero.com. As of 3 a.m. this morning, people have already helped raise almost $230,000. Here is some more information about Corporal Grade 1 Matthew Ty Snook. This is his picture. DSP says Trooper Snook was 34 years old from Hockessin, Delaware, and a 10-year veteran of Delaware State Police. Snook was a graduate of St. Mark's High School and the University of Maryland, where he was a member of the wrestling team. He is survived by his wife and their 1-year-old daughter. The Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles has announced that several DMV locations will be closed following the officer-involved shooting on Tuesday. Locations in Delaware City, Dover, and Georgetown will be closed today. Normal hours of operation will resume Monday, December 29th, but state officials say the Wilmington location will remain closed until further notice. To honor Corporal Snook, Georgetown Mayor Bill West says he's been in contact with Senator Brian Pettyjohn to plan a candlelight vigil. CoastTV spoke with Senator Pettyjohn, who says the impact is widespread.
Doesn't matter if they're from Georgetown, if they're from the area, or if they're upstate. We always have something here in Georgetown to help support the family and help them through their time of need.
Pettyjohn says the circle will be closed off to car traffic on Sunday. New overnight newly released video shows the scale of destruction left behind by mudslides in the mountain community of Wrightwood in Southern California. The San Bernardino County Fire Department released video showing homes and vehicles buried under several feet of mud and rocks. According to the National Weather Service, the town received just under 10 inches as of Thursday morning. New this morning, Northside Park in Ocean City could soon be getting some upgrades. The park is used year-round, from people enjoying a nice stroll in the summertime to the Winterfest of lights display in the winter. According to the Ocean City Park's superintendent, upgrades will include replacing the softball field lights with LEDs to cut costs and better light the area, upgrading the playground and improving the pathways to better prepare for drainage issues and improve walking conditions. The plans are something one person who often walks around the area is in support of.
I think it's in pretty good shape now. It's nice and flat. It's easy for me walking, but you can always flatten this in spots.
According to officials, the overall cost for these projects will be around $1 million, with funding coming from the Capital Reserve Fund and state grants. The town says these upgrades are happening to Northside Park in 2026 and 2027. Starting today, Ocean City is offering a free Christmas tree drop-off site. Organizers say people can bring their live trees to the 100th Street Municipal parking lot. The drop-off site will be open through January 15th. Town officials remind everyone to remove all tinsel, ornaments, and other non-wooded items before dropping off the trees. In Delaware, DNREC and the Delaware Center for Horticulture are hosting tree cycling on Saturday, January 10th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Delaware Center for Horticulture in Wilmington. Officials say collected trees will be chipped into mulch and reused in community gardens and public landscapes. Again, all ornaments, lights, tinsel, fake snow, and stands must be removed before arrival. Pope Leo led his first Christmas Eve midnight mass from the Vatican. It's one of the last events of the year for the world's first American Pope. NBC's Molly Hunter takes a look back.
It's the moment the world's 1.4 billion Catholics have been waiting and praying for. About an hour later, American Cardinal Bob Prevost appeared on the loggia.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Now Pope Leo XIV.
To find out that he's a Chicagoan as well, I could not believe it. That was something we were always told could never happen. There could never be an American Pope.
An Augustinian who spent decades as a missionary in Peru, before that a Villanova grad born and bred on the south side of Chicago. And those who know him well say he's adjusted quickly to the Vatican.
He seemed to hit the ground running. It looks like he was, came out of central casting, made for the job.
In the same spirit as his predecessor Francis, Leo has spoken out about immigration.
I think we have to look for ways of treating people humanely, treating people with the dignity that they have.
And repeatedly called for a ceasefire in Ukraine. He's met with Ukrainian President Zelensky 3 times since his election. And back in November, we had the chance to ask Leo a question.
Do you have a Thanksgiving message? Is there something you're thankful for?
To recognize that we all have received so many gifts. First and foremost, the gift of life, the gift of faith, the gift of unity, to encourage all people to try and promote peace and harmony.
The first American Pope spent the holiday traveling on his first international trip. In Turkey, he marked an important historical meeting for the church, visiting the famed Blue Mosque in Istanbul. Then, honoring a promise made by his predecessor Francis, he traveled to Lebanon, where he celebrated Mass on the Beirut waterfront for a crowd of 150,000.
To you, Christians of the Levant, have courage. The whole church looks to you with affection and admiration.
Quite the send-off for the new pontiff, who chatted with reporters on the way home.
Just a year or two ago, I too thought about retiring someday.
But instead, celebrating Christmas at the Vatican, his first as the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Molly Hunter, NBC News.
A holiday closure notice for Sussex County, the Indian River Life Saving Station and Visitor Center says it will be closed today. According to officials, the park is normally open from 8 a.m. to sunset every day. And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News today. We still have a lot more news to get to. Coming up, a holiday tradition in Cambridge is bringing the community together. We'll tell you how much longer people have to enjoy it before it packs up for the season. Also, marijuana penalty modifications, the new bill being introduced in Delaware General Assembly that could lessen some consequences for marijuana violations. And Winterfest winding down, we'll tell you how much longer people have to enjoy Ocean City's holiday installment. And there is First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahey in our weather center. He's tracking a cold rain for Delmarva tonight. We will check in with him right after the break.
It's coming up on 6:12 on this Friday morning, the day after Christmas. And right now, a live look on the FH Fur Cam in Cambridge. We're starting to see clouds increasing 31 degrees, and we're going to be slowly rising to that freezing mark as we go through the morning hours, but pretty cold out there. Temperatures ranging from the upper 20s in Salisbury, 29 there, to 30 in Milton, 31 in Dagsboro. And we've got a wind that's pretty strong as well, gusting over 20 miles per hour. So that feels like temperature is into the teens and 20s. So make sure you bundle up. As we're looking at mostly clear skies, but clouds developing back to the west, and there's a system we're watching for this evening, spreading a wintry mix across the Ohio Valley. That will eventually move in as we go into this evening. On Delmarva today, I think really much of the day is dry. Some rain developing after about 4 p.m. Along the coast, 41, inland 41, 39 for the eastern shore. And at the onset of this rain could be a bit of a wintry mix, but then changing to a cold rain with tricky travel farther to the north. I'll have much more on that coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. In Ocean City, the Winterfest of Lights is still open daily. Their hours each night are 5:30 to 9:30. The installment features a train and photo with Santa Claus. Winterfest of Lights runs through New Year's Eve. The Delaware Office of Highway Safety is bringing back the Sober Rides program for New Year's Eve. The Don't Drop the Ball campaign means you can get a $20 voucher for Lyft and Uber. The vouchers are redeemable from 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve to 3 a.m. New Year's Day. Delawareans can visit mysoberrides.com to get the vouchers. A plan by the struggling United Postal Service to raise cash could cost the agency its biggest customer, Amazon. The USPS has a partnership with the online retail giant to deliver some orders to Amazon customers. The contract reportedly brings in about $6 billion a year, but now the post office plans to accept bids from other shippers for access to the service's distribution centers. An Amazon spokesman says the uncertainty might push the company to stop using USPS as much, and that Amazon is evaluating all of its options. Consumer confidence is down this month, according to the latest survey from the Conference Board. The consumer confidence fell 3.8 points from November to 89.1. That's the lowest reading since April, when President Donald Trump introduced his Liberation Day tariffs. The monthly report showed consumers across all income levels expressed more concern about the state of the labor market, with the unemployment rate recently hitting a 4-year high.
And here's a live look at the gutter helmet cam, 32 in Ocean View, and the flag really whipping in the wind there with a strong northerly wind. And we're looking at temperatures slowly rising through the 30s, with a cold rain developing later this afternoon and ice and snow to the north. If you're traveling that way, it's going to be a little dicey into tonight. I'll have your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes.
The time is now 6:17, and we are taking a live look outside at Lewis today. Bob, it's the day after Christmas. People might be traveling home to another vacation destination. The weather, though, gets a little iffy later today.
It does. To our north, it does, Elisa. And today is one of the busier days of the year. And right now, looking at the regional airports, Dulles, Reagan, BWI, and Philly International, no delays now, but about 12 hours from now, it could get a little dicey as we start to see some snow and ice building in. And New York definitely could see some moderate delays as we go into this evening with snow falling in that area. They're going to see a few inches of snow, and you can see minor delays maybe elsewhere. But I think we're looking at delays definitely through Pennsylvania, maybe into Pittsburgh too, with some icy conditions. 20s and low 30s out the door right now. 29 in Bridgeville, 30 in Delmar and Gumboro, 33 in Bethany Beach, and those winds are whipping along the coast. Not as strong inland areas, but feels like temperatures are in the low to mid 20s. It feels cold out there this morning, so Maybe you're returning some gifts that you didn't like that you got from Santa, or just heading out with family. Make sure you bundle up this morning. Now, we do have winter weather advisories north of Dover into the Newark area, Philly, into Jersey and Pennsylvania. This is mainly for sleet and ice and a little bit of snow, and then a full-blown winter storm warning around the New York area, northern parts of New Jersey, into eastern PA, where we're looking at accumulating snow, maybe about 4 to 8 inches of snow in this neck of the woods. So if you're traveling that way, they're going to be shoveling some snow up there, but not for us, as we're looking at mostly clear skies right now. And travel weather this morning into this afternoon, we're good. We're going to be quiet into mid-afternoon, but here's the system we're watching now, spreading snow and a wintry mix from Wisconsin into Michigan, and this area of low pressure will be sinking to the southeast as we go through the day. Let's walk you through it on Futurecast. We'll see partly cloudy skies this morning, and then by late morning we're into the mid to upper 30s. So temperatures rising through mid-afternoon, 30s and even some low 40s. That's good. The ground will be warmer, and we're not looking at any slick roads here. By 5:30, the winds start coming off the ocean, lower 40s at the beaches. Then by 6-7 p.m., the showers start to build in, and we're looking at temperatures in the lower 40s. So plenty warm, where we don't have to worry about icy roads in our neck of the woods with intermittent showers through the evening and overnight hours, as temperatures actually rise through the overnight into the low to mid 40s, and it does dry out by the morning hours, just kind of gloomy and cloudy with temperatures in the low 40s. Then the winds pick up out of the north behind that departing low, and we're falling through the 30s into the afternoon hours. Pretty cold into Saturday evening as the skies do begin to clear. By Sunday morning, 20s and 30s. Then we're in the 30s and low 40s Sunday afternoon. Here's a wider view. You can see some of that mixed precipitation moving into Dover as soon as mid-afternoon, and there's a cutoff line near Philly, back through Lancaster, PA. They're looking at maybe some accretion of ice there and very slick roads. And then there's the snow from central Jersey up into the New York area, Long Island, southern New England. That's where they'll see the accumulating snow. For us, it's just cloudy into Saturday morning. We could pick up maybe close to a 1/4 inch of cold rain as we go through the overnight. We get a break on Sunday, and then another system promises rain on Monday. Ahead of it, it's going to be very mild with temperatures in the low 60s. Then I think that system will bring some rain as we go later into Monday. Along the coast today, lower 40s from Lewis to Dewey Beach and Chincoteague, with that rain developing after about 4 p.m. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 39 with the rain into this evening and tonight, and temperatures above freezing. So just wet roads here, but definitely slick farther to the north. 41 Saturday, 46 Sunday, then very mild Monday, 61 with some rain showers, and then temperatures tanking again after that. 36 Tuesday, New Year's Eve mild, 41, and then New Year's Day we ring in 2026 on a cold note, partly cloudy, and a high around 38 degrees.
Thank you, Bob. Delaware could change how it handles the public use of marijuana. House Bill 252 would make the use of a personal use amount of marijuana or THC products in public places or in a moving car a civil violation instead of a misdemeanor. The legislation says penalties would get reduced to a fine of up to $50 for a first offense and up to $100 for repeat offenses. However, the measure does not change existing DUI laws. Supporters say this change is needed to more fairly handle low-level offenses and align Delaware with other states.
This simply brings Delaware's laws closer to what other states, including states that don't even have legalization laws. So this is essentially a cleanup provision that wasn't included in the original legislation.
The bill is now assigned to the House Health and Human Development Committee. And if you have weed in your house, smart habits could ensure a fun and safe holiday season. Children can easily mistake edibles for candy. A study from the National Institute of Health reports that it happened more than 3,000 times in 2021, and that can be very dangerous. Kids are more vulnerable to the effects of THC. Well, Santa has come and gone, but the holiday spirit is still shining on Delmarva. Stay tuned for your cool things to do this weekend. A holiday tradition in Cambridge is back for another year. The Cambridge Rescue Fire Company's Train Garden has been in operation for over 9 decades, even believed to be the oldest volunteer fire company model train display in the country. Dedicated volunteers like Andrew Bradshaw, who also serves as chairman of the Rescue Fire Company Train Garden, works to maintain this miniature world.
We've been in this building since we began in 1934. The Train Garden has continued in Cambridge for 91 years. We've survived the Second World War, the Great Depression, the Vietnam era. There's a history coming into this building. It is as much part of the tradition for people that come to the Train Garden as the trains themselves.
Organizers say the holiday feature is open until December 31st.
It's going to be a cold Friday at the beaches, but I think we keep it dry much of the day. Assateague and Chincoteague increasing clouds. You get into the low 40s with the southeast breeze developing. And then farther up the coast, Fenwick Island and Ocean City, you're looking at temperatures in the 30s to around 40 degrees. Then that rain develops, I think, after about 5 p.m. On the bay side, mid to upper 30s for Cambridge and Crisfield, close to 40. I think you see that rain developing after about 5, maybe starting as a bit of a wintry mix, but plain rain, but then tricky travel farther north with snow and ice. Much more on this system coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. Well, new this morning, hopefully everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday, but the festive fun doesn't have to end now. Christina DeRobertis shows us the cool things to do on the coast this weekend.
If you have any extra holiday spirit lying around, Shellville awaits you this weekend. The Christmas Village behind Tanger Outlets is open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with live music and all the usual holiday magic. Plus, Ocean City's Winterfest of Lights continues until December 31st. That's from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. at Northside Park. It's your last chance to take in those sparkling displays before the lights go dark for the season. You can also head to Lewis to check out holiday light displays all throughout the city until December 31st. And holidays at the Hammock at Crooked Hammock Brewery is still happening. That includes drink and food specials, s'mores, and more. Finally, if the gifts you got did not quite hit the mark this year, you might be headed out on a return mission. Tanger Outlets are open from 10 to 9 Saturday and from 10 to 7 on Sunday. If you missed any of that, don't worry, we have all the details on CoastTV.com right now.
Now on Coast TV News.
Support for fallen troopers' family, how you can help, and the fake fundraisers to avoid. Planned upgrades for Northside Park and Ocean City, what changes you can expect.
Increasing clouds on your Friday with a cold rain developing across Delmarva with ice and snow and tricky travel to the north. Forecast details coming up.
And goodbye Christmas, where to recycle your tree in Delaware and Maryland.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 6 o'clock hour on this Friday morning. It is December 26th. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. We had a very warm Christmas, but Bob this morning has been saying a tongue twister, tricky travel, in my opinion. But Bob, you were talking about later, this weather is going to go from warm to cold and a little iffy for travel.
Yes, good morning, Elisa. We are looking at that tricky travel, I think, farther north of Delaware into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York with ice and snow. For us, I think we're just looking at plain rain. Temperature-wise right now, it's cold. Upper 20s and low 30s, 30 in Dagsboro, 32 in Rehoboth, 30 in Georgetown right now. And the wind speeds, well, they're stronger at the coast, gusting over 20 miles per hour. So feels like temperatures, they're down there. Feels like low to mid 20s. So if you're returning some gifts this morning or just heading out to breakfast, make sure you bundle up. We are looking at mostly clear skies right now, and so our travel this morning into this afternoon I think is nice and quiet from our neck of the woods into the northeast, but we are tracking the next system off to our north and west with a mixed bag of precipitation across the Great Lakes. And you can see the snow across the Great Lakes, and for us that'll be a cold rain later on. Already a winter weather advisory far northern Delaware into Philly, parts of Jersey and Pennsylvania. That's for ice and snow later on. And then for the New York area, a winter storm warning in effect. They're expecting a few inches of snow, plowable snow in that neck of the woods. For us, increasing clouds this morning. By 10 a.m. we're in the mid 30s, close to 40 by this afternoon. Winds pick up out of the southeast, warming up at the beaches. Then a cold rain builds in as we go into this evening. I think temperatures are warm enough where we're just looking at wet roads, but you tend to see this peach color around Philly back into Pennsylvania. That is some sleet and ice, and then farther to the north we have the snow, but for us just a cold rain as we go into Saturday morning. Here's your day part forecast. Bundle up out the door, 20s and eventually 30s with the thickening clouds and then that cold rain developing. I'll have more on this system plus your weekend forecast coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Bob. Our top story this morning, Delaware State Police are warning people about unauthorized fundraising efforts following the line-of-duty death of Corporal Matthew T. Ty Snook. According to the agency, these fundraisers are not affiliated or endorsed by the Snook family or Delaware State Police. DSP is encouraging people to rely on official information they have provided. And here is that official fundraising information. To help the Snook family, a fundraiser has been started by the Delaware State Troopers Association at helpahero.com. As of 3 a.m. this morning, people have already helped raise almost $230,000. And here is some more information about Corporal Grade 1 Matthew Ty Snook. This is his picture. DSP says Trooper Snook was 34 years old from Hockessin, Delaware, and a 10-year veteran of the Delaware State Police Force. Snook was a graduate of St. Mark's High School and the University of Maryland, where he was a member of the wrestling team. He is survived by his wife and their 1-year-old daughter. Northside Park in Ocean City could soon be getting some upgrades. The Recreation and Parks Committee gave the council an update on the plans. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappé shows us what's in store.
Northside Park in Ocean City is used year-round for people enjoying a nice stroll in the summertime to the Winterfest lights display in the winter.
This is a hidden gem.
Vince Ryan walks Northside Park 6 days a week and has for the past 5 years.
It's quiet here, it's open, you got plenty of room to do anything you want.
And now some planned upgrades are in the works. According to the Ocean City Park Superintendent, upgrades will include replacing the softball field lights with LEDs to cut costs and better light the area. It will also include upgrading the playground and improving the pathways to better prepare for drainage issues and improve walking conditions, something Ryan is all for.
I think it's in pretty good shape now. It's nice and flat. It's easy for me walking, but you could always flatten this in spots.
The overall cost for these projects will be around $1 million. And funding coming from the Capital Reserve Fund and state grants. According to the town, these upgrades happening to Northside Park is set to happen in 2026 and 2027. I'm Kevin Zappé in Ocean City, CoastTV News.
Happening across Delmarva, Salisbury Mayor Randy Taylor is reflecting on progress across the city. According to his office, some of the highlights include the city's savings fund reaching a record $21 million. Major infrastructure upgrades, including road projects, greenway improvements, and new trash trucks. New technology for the Salisbury Police Department and Ann Street Village, which is now at full capacity. In Delaware, DNREC and the Delaware Center for Horticulture are hosting tree cycling on Saturday, January 10th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. This will take place at the Delaware Center for Horticulture in Wilmington. Officials say collected trees will be chipped into mulch and reused in community gardens and public landscapes. All ornaments, lights, tinsel, fake snow, and stands must be removed before arrival. Starting today, Ocean City is offering a free Christmas tree drop-off site. Organizers say people can bring their live trees to the 100th Street Municipal parking lot. The drop-off site will be open through January 15th, and town officials remind everyone to remove all tinsel, ornaments, and other non-wooden items before dropping off the trees. Another storm slammed California on Christmas Day. The atmospheric river-fueled storm lashed the state, setting records in some areas and keeping many under evacuation orders. Reed Binion shows us how people are now recovering.
Everything was flooded. It was insane.
Californians reeling from another day of brutal, deadly weather. Torrential rain triggering floodwaters that made roads treacherous and in many cases impassable. Thunderstorms and punishing winds causing damage across the state. In other areas, feet of snow also impacting travel. In Wrightwood, northeast of Los Angeles, authorities issued an evacuation warning Thursday due to mud and debris flows.
We're approaching 10 inches for the Wrightwood area. Widespread flooding throughout the community.
Emergency crews pulling people from flooded cars and homes.
A number of rescues were performed throughout the day. Water rescues from vehicles traveling onto flooded roadways. We had people that were trapped in their houses.
The massive scope of the flooding still visible hours after the water receded. Cars and homes encased in silt, mud, and sand the floodwaters left behind. Some homes buried nearly up to the windows and rafters. Elsewhere in the state, authorities say a Sacramento sheriff's deputy was killed after crashing on a wet roadway while driving to work.
Fortunately, in this line of work, we deal a lot with the dangers in the line of duty. This is a little more unique because it's one of those freak accidents simply on his way to work.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
We're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News Today. We still have a lot more news to get to. Coming up, bringing back Beach Slam, we'll tell you how Beach Slam is filling a void left by a previous Sussex County competition that's on hiatus. But first, it's time to showcase how you are decorating your homes this holiday season. Today's holiday house picture is coming from Bill and Gladys in Georgetown. Here we see a unique German goose feather tree with antique decorations. Thank you so much for sending us a picture of your beautiful tree. And if you would like your festive decorations to be shared during our broadcast, take a look at your screen. Send in your pictures by heading to our website, coasttv.com/holidayhouse.
It is 6:40 on this Friday morning after Christmas and a beautiful sunrise in progress on the Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camp. It's cold in Laurel right now. We're looking at 29 degrees for you, 29 in Redden, 30 in Dagsboro, 33 in Bethany Beach. And those winds, they're blowing out of the north, especially gusty at the coast. So it feels like temperatures in the low to mid 20s right now. As we're seeing mostly clear skies, clouds are developing back to the west, thickening clouds today. And there's a system we're watching to the north and west. It's a mixed bag of precipitation that will bring a cold rain for us and then a wintry mix and snow farther north. So your morning checklist, you need the umbrella for this afternoon and this evening for the cold rain. Make sure you layer up. Don't need the snow shovel for this event. Winter coat, hat, gloves, scarves, and a warm beverage for sure. And congratulations to Karen Smith on winning a new umbrella from Coast TV and Paul Davis.
Thank you, Bob. Happening today, Holiday High School basketball is returning to Lewis. The Cape Henlopen Basketball Booster Club is sponsoring the Beach Slam tournament. Last year was the inaugural event that is attempting to fill the void of the popular slam dunk to the beach. This is video from the 2018 Slam Dunk Tournament. It was in March 2024. The Delaware Sports Commission, which organized that event, announced that the tournament was going on hiatus. The newer version is focused more on local and regional teams. That tournament begins today.
Governor's Challenge is back, and the Delmarva Sports Network is your exclusive station for the hottest high school hoops. Over 130 teams hit the courts in the nation's premier holiday basketball tournament. Stream every live game from 5 courts with DSN Plus, and don't miss the DSN Nightly Wrap-Up Show. Only on the Delmarva Sports Network and DSN Plus. The 43rd Annual Governor's Challenge, sponsored by Piedmont Airlines and TNG Builders.
So the action starts on Friday with a lot of local action to kick off the event. In the early slate of day one, we've got 4 Delaware versus Maryland battles on the Delmarva Sports Network. Later in the day, Dover and Waihi, that'll be another good one. Always great to watch the Tribe and their head coach Butch Waller, the founder of the Governor's Challenge.
Now is a great time to subscribe to DSN Plus to make sure you can catch as many games as possible. Go to delmarvasportsnetwork.com for more details.
Coming up tonight on DSN at 5 p.m., James M. Bennett takes on Colonel Richardson in boys basketball. At 6:30, Waihi faces Dover, also in boys basketball. And at 8:30, it's the All-Star event. And here are your DSN Plus exclusives. The Governor's Challenge is here, and you can watch the games taking place at the Wicomico Civic Center, Wicomico High School, and UMES. Week 17 of the NFL season is here, and here's what's coming up Sunday Night Football right here on Coast TV. Coverage begins at 7 when the Chicago Bears take on the San Francisco 49ers. Then stay tuned for Coast TV News right after the break. And entertainment news now, including a conversation with the actor behind Stranger Things' Vecna. Rick Damangella has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
It is time.
Jamie Campbell Bower, who portrays Vecna in Stranger Things, describes playing the big bad evil guy of the series.
I genuinely felt like I had a great, opportunity and a duty of care to this world and to the work that had already been put into it. And so, to play the big bad was never something that I never really saw. It was one that I didn't see, but it was never I was never conscious of being the bad guy. I just wanted to bring this character to life.
The final episode of Stranger Things premieres New Year's Eve.
You've brought all the wine out from the cellar.
Yes, Mom.
And closed the cellar hatch.
And in case you missed it in theaters, British farce Fackham Hall is out now on VOD. The film's director says it was a very fun film to make.
I'm not going to lie, we had a lot of fun. We had an awful lot of fun on set. I had a great bunch of actors who became like a little family. We were in the most beautiful locations. Knowsley Hall, which is home to the Earl of Derby, was our main setting. So it was a beautiful place to hang out and to film and to shoot.
Oh well, you made it to 7. To London's oldest ever chimney sweep.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from CoastTV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com/signup and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Here's a live look at Lewis on the Tunnel Razor Cam. Increasing clouds this morning. It's cold, 30 degrees and thickening clouds with temperatures slowly rising through the 30s. We have a cold rain headed our way this evening with a wintry mix. Tricky travel to the north. I'll have full forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Time is now 6:48 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning with a beautiful sunrise. I waited there for a moment because usually this camera gives us beautiful sun. That sun today, Bob, not going to provide as much warmth though.
No, and I think that sun will fade behind clouds as we go through the morning hours, Elisa, as we're awaiting that next system that will bring a cold rain for us. Now, here's the FH Fair camera in Cambridge right now, showing some high clouds beginning to move in. The clouds will thicken up today, and we'll see that cold rain developing later this afternoon and this evening, possibly starting as a wintry mix. That should be brief with temperatures in the 30s, and then for us, a cold rain, wet roads, but tricky travel farther to the north with ice and snow. You get into northern Delaware and then back into Pennsylvania and New York. That's where we're going to have problems. But at the major airports now, Dulles, Reagan, BWI, and Philly, no delays now, but about 12 hours from now, that could change. We could definitely see some delays around the New York area with accumulating snow likely there. So if your travels take you into New York, today's a big travel day. We're looking at possible delays with snow, and we're looking at some delays as well from New York into Pennsylvania with ice and snow back into the Ohio Valley. Once again, for us, I think it's just a cold rain. Temperatures out the door this morning are cold. 29 Redden and Milton and Millsboro as well. 33 Bethany Beach, 32 in Rehoboth. And we've got a northerly breeze that's a little stronger at the beaches. So those feels like temperatures are down there this morning. It feels like 21 with the wind in Salisbury, 23 in Milton, 24 in Ocean Pines. So bundle up. We do have winter weather advisories farther to the north near Newark into Delaware, Philadelphia, central and southern Jersey, and then back into Baltimore and Pennsylvania. This is for snow and ice and some slick roads as well. And then a full-blown winter storm warning, Long Island, the New York metro area, where they could see a few inches of snow. This looks like a plowable snow, northern New Jersey into the tri-state area. So if your travels take you there, keep that in mind. For us, we're just seeing the high clouds now. So if you're traveling through midday, we're quiet from the mid-Atlantic into the northeast, but there's the snow breaking out across Cleveland into Buffalo. We're watching that next system across the Great Lakes. It's a mixed bag of precipitation that will be sinking to the southeast as we go through the day. But this morning we'll see some peaks of sun and then the clouds thickening up as we go into the afternoon. By 2:30, we're in the 30s and low 40s with mainly cloudy skies, and by 5 p.m. we start to see a southeast breeze with lower 40s at the coast, and then that will warm us up inland as well. So precipitation likely falling as just plain rain across the area. Once again, at the onset, maybe a little bit of sleet, but for the most part, just a cold rain across southern Delaware into Salisbury and Selbyville through this evening, just kind of raw and wet, and temperatures in the low to mid 40s, and then a little drizzly overnight and cloudy into the morning hours. And then we get into Saturday afternoon, north wind, that's going to cool us into the 30s. It's going to get cold with some clearing into Saturday Saturday night and Sunday morning, 20s and 30s then. And then into Sunday afternoon, lower 40s. You can see this peach color indicating sleet from Dover into southern Jersey and Pennsylvania around 4 p.m. with the snow up into the New York area. And for us, just plain rain as we go through tonight, and then just cloudy into Saturday morning. As far as rain, about 1,500 to about a quarter inch of rain is what I'm expecting. And then we're going to see another system bringing showers later Sunday into Monday. Very mild ahead of this system with lower 60s, and it looks like just plain rain with that system. And along the coast today, lower 40s from Lewis to Dewey Beach, Chincoteague, and Bethany Beach with that rain building in. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 39 today with the evening cold rain that lingers into tonight. Just wet roads, and then Saturday mostly cloudy, 41, mid-40s Sunday, and then Monday very mild, 61 with rain showers, and then cold again after that, mid-30s Tuesday. New Year's Eve right now mostly sunny and 41, and we're ringing in 2026 on a dry and cold note, partly cloudy and 38 degrees.
The Winter Olympics are back February 2026, and we're going to meet one of the athletes competing for Team USA. Alpine downhill skier Breezy Johnson's Olympic dreams for Beijing 2022 came crashing down when she blew out her knee on the very mountain to be used at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. She since has come back to win a 2025 world title. Breezy Johnson is a first-time gold medalist at the World Championships. The time is now 6:53, and we are going to check in with our Coastal Pet of the Day. And today's Coastal Pet of the Day, like it does every Friday, is coming to us from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. On your screen right now is Misty. Misty is a very sweet girl who loves walks on the trail and plenty of playtime in the yard with her toys. If you want to adopt Misty or Tuna Fish, who we showed you last hour from our last hour, or any other lovable pet, you can head over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them special. You can take a look at your screen. Scan the QR code at the top of your screen to submit your furry friend to CoastTV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature. If you are going to the store to exchange some gifts today, Bob, or you're traveling for the holidays to spend another vacation somewhere else, you're going to need to watch those roads later today.
I think so. Our roads here, Elisa, should be just wet as we go through the evening. It's points north, Philly, Jersey, New York. That's where they're going to see some snow and ice up that way. But for us, increasing clouds. I think the cold rain develops probably after about 5 p.m. Remember to call the CoastTV First Alert weather phone. And we're looking at your Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 39 today with clouds, that evening cold rain. Once again, farther north, tricky travel with ice and snow. 41 on Saturday, 46 Sunday, very mild into Monday, 61 with rain showers, and 36 Tuesday, getting cold. New Year's Eve, we're looking at 41 degrees, and I think as we ring in the new year, it's looking cold and dry. Partly cloudy New Year's Day, 38, and kind of cold the first few days of January, and then by the 4th, maybe another chance of rain and a high around 44, but at least not looking at any snow for us the next 10 days.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for CoastTV News today. The Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m., and then we'll be back for CoastTV News midday at 11. And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our CoastTV News and weather apps. Have a great morning.